Everybody starting to wander into the Kingdom podcast. Got 9 people in the chat so far today. If you're just not joining in, make sure you leave your likes. Feel free to comment. We answering questions and share this with anybody that you know that taps in with us also. So we can have a nice conversation this afternoon, and we can get some questions, get some charts, and get make sense of what's going on in the market. Jeffrey Friedman, what's good, bro? Oh, that's Gio. Gio, what's good, man? All right, cool. So, like I said, first and foremost, thank you for tapping in with the Kingdom Podcast this Sunday. Round table talk. Every Sunday we trying to bring together the pillars and the minds of the kingdom, and we just want to discuss a few hot topics that's in the market. See what we like. See what's good and everything. But first and foremost, none of this is financial advice. This is all just a family that want to bring topics to the table for you guys and just give you guys some fresh insights on what we're going into this up and coming week. So if you looking at putting your hard earned money into anything, make sure you do your due diligence and your research before investing in it. That's just my take on it. So um, definitely want to do that. So today I'll be sharing the stage with, everybody know the VIX Queen, Carly. She's here with us. I got Fridge Financials. I got New Fish Big Pond, and I got Purunga. Um, First and foremost, analyst, how are y'all doing this weekend? How everybody feeling this Sunday?
I'm
Good.
doing great.
Hot worm.
Feeling good.
Y'all,
Yeah, feeling good, man.
anybody burning up outside yet?
Yes, I am.
I did
Man,
earlier.
Well,
105.
105.
the real feel today was like 98, I think.
Oh
Something
man,
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
you have humidity. Ugh. We don't
Yeah,
get
we
that
do
up
have
here.
humidity here. It was not it was yeah.
I
My air
had
conditioner working overtime.
I had my
Mine.
off day today, so I've been in the AC for the most part of it. I did go to Best Buy and get this. I got a mic height. Am I sounding all right with y'all this time? I was
You
Ooh,
able
sound
to
great,
get
see?
dude.
Best Buy.
Now you're really ready to be a DJ, Royal. Come on.
DJ Roy on the mics,
That's
on
All
the
right.
exactly
keys.
right.
I appreciate it. Trying to make it is supposed to be hopping in a little bit. If you don't, you know, we're gonna make it work. But I think we're coming up in an interesting market, all time highs. Um, in a lot of the stocks, I think we've seen Nvidia, we've seen SPY. I think Qs are kind of lagging, but Bitcoin, we're seeing a lot of good all time highs in the stock market and everything. And I'm gonna go ahead and jump in real quick before we jump into everything else. I'm gonna break down what I'm seeing in the SPY real quick. So I already got a CLB chart up. We was just talking about that before we jumped into the streaming, but we gonna hop back into that too. So real quick on the SPY, just a little outlook into next week. So um, we've had more green days over the past 2 weeks than red days on the SPY. So what that's telling me is either we're gonna go sideways or we're gonna retest some highs. I'm not giving the outlook on just breaking, just completely breaking down quite yet. But I honestly think that we could be we could be going a little bit higher. And the reason why I'm saying that, I got the candle bars up right now. Um, but let me go back to the bar charts real quick. This is just simpler for me to break down and explain what I see without the extra body and wicks and all of that stuff. Um, these are the only 2 weekdays that I have drawn up right here from July 7th and July 8th. The past 3 days after that, we saw pretty strong buyers, and that Thursday we actually went and broke old highs. So we had all time highs. Well, we were at all time highs briefly at 626.91. So I think the future's open. We may have opened just a little bit lower on the spot, but I'm not looking at anything alarming at the moment until I see us break this low at 617.80. So that's still a nice size drawback, but I just don't see us fully committing to the bearish side until we actually start taking out some of the actual lower lows to commit to that breaker structure. Let me be clear with that. I think we can pull back, but I'm not bearish until we break below the lows and we actually shift into a breaker structure and either to the sideways and down or sideways. So if you're looking at this right now, just don't commit to the downside just yet. Could it be coming? Very would could be coming, but who would have thought 2 months ago the spot to actually be pushing all time highs and even higher than that. I know I wasn't. I was still looking at maybe just retesting half of the gains that we lost from the first few years. I mean, from the first few months, but we got all that back and more. So going into next week, I would just be cautious on which way I would go. Prices are pinned right now, so let me throw my gap indicators up. Prices are really pinned right now. As you can see, we got a lot of gap ups over the past following days to where, we've retested the gap downs or the gap up levels, and then we've been bought right back up. And now we have a couple of gap downs that's making the prices consolidate a little bit more. So this is just a pinned area right here between 625 and between 620.55. We're gonna need to see the market choose to decide which way that it wants to go. It needs to break out of this consolidated area, and once it does, then that'll give us a full direction on which way the SPY wants to actually commit to. To the upside, I got 631. If we can break out above the 627 level, but if we start breaking structure to the downside and take out this 617.80, the same way we had this melt to the upside here, it's very possible for if we break structure back over here below 617.80. I mean, we can very much so start a downtrend back to the other side where we got this unfilled gaps back down here at 608 and then another unfilled gap at 600. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you're trading SPY, if you're looking at which direction the SPYs might be headed, we still need to wait until we just have clear direction outside of 627 and 618 and we commit from there. If we fill these gaps, we're going to need to see a confirmation and probably another gap down to give us more confluences to the downside. Or if we break out, we're going to need to see some type of gap above where this supply level is at 625 to confirm that we're going to make a move higher and push this 631 to maybe 636 level. So I just wanted to start everything off with, the levels that we are looking at for the SPY, and then what we'll need to see in order to us to fully commit to a direction. But got a ton of comments just flew in like that. Somebody said trading week got me excited. Somebody said fix my mic. Can y'all hear me?
Your mic sounds great to me.
Yeah, I don't,
Me too.
me too, but maybe not out there, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they say it's low. All right.
Okay. That could be your levels on your computer.
Okay. Let's see.
I have a couple things to add on SPY. One thing I want to point out while you guys, kind of zoom in on your view of SPY, I zoom out. If you look at volume going back to May 1st, 6 of the highest volume days, 5 of those were red days, and only 1 was green, which tells me that smart money, because the highest volume days, we know smart money's involved. We know everybody's in the market. So 5 of those 6 days, smart money sold off, but the last one, the last high volume was green. So that gave me a little bit more comfort. That was the first time since May 1st that smart money's been buying. And then the VIX, Thursday and Friday, VIX volume for 716 contracts was extremely neutral. The put call ratio on Thursday was at 1 exactly, and Friday it was like 1 point, I don't know, maybe 1.2 or something. So they're taking a very neutral stance going into this week, and which makes sense because we have a shit ton of info coming our way this week. But that's good because at least while they're not making a positive stance, they're not taking a negative stance either. So that could be good or bad.
Hmm. Well, yeah,
It's funny.
So
I definitely think Spot.
I don't know. For me, I think you have to stay neutral on the market.
yeah,
Um,
you need to keep your head on a swivel.
exactly. Like that's the thing is like I personally don't believe the market should be where it is.
It
Um,
shouldn't be.
yeah. But
It
again,
is.
we exactly it is, and we have to trade what's in front of us, not what we want to be trading. Um, and another part of it is, there's so much uncertainty because of all the tariff nonsense. Are we gonna have it? Are we not gonna have it? Is it gonna go in this day? Is it gonna go in 2 weeks? Is it gonna go in 3 months? Oh, just kidding. Oh wait, no, I'm not kidding. Oh wait, yes I am. Wait, no, I'm not. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what is it going to be? So, um, I don't know where things are going. They very well could go higher. I don't think they're crashing anytime soon. Like not like instantly. But like I went ahead and started taking profit on some positions that I have like really good return on, just to make sure I can secure it. Um, because I just don't know what's happening in this market. The only thing that I do
Well,
know. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
in regards to tariff, what I'm going to be watching for tariffs now is that I read a lot of articles this weekend that talked about how after these letters have gone out, what it's starting to do is reinforce relationships outside of the US. So, the EU is extremely unhappy with us. And the EU is interesting because they just don't have like one ruler. They have a conglomeration of different countries that have, different exports and different languages and different wants and needs and, different GDPs and different economies. And so many of those countries just want to tell Trump to fuck off and then go do business with China. You see these deals that they're making with Canada. They're making Canada their new BFFs. They're looking, to deal directly with Taiwan and all these other countries. And so that's going to be a deciding factor, I think, for a lot of these countries if they're going to even need to or want to negotiate with us. I think that's kind of the under the hood that we should start looking at.
That sounds
Yeah.
I think it's one
sounds
of those
reasonable.
things. I think it's one of those things where it's like, at this point, because Matt put in the chat, he said Taco Tuesday or Taco every day or whatever. I think we're at a point in the market now where I think the market is now being more resistant to all these flip flops back and forth. I think now the data is really going to be showing a lot more of how the market's going to react to this stuff anymore. Because I think they're just tired of because myself included, I'm so tired of just hearing it be like, all right, we're gonna do tariffs. Okay, now we're not gonna do it. Okay, now we're gonna push it back. Just show me the data at this point. So I think now, I feel like the market is now getting used to just all of these announcements. It's just gonna be just show me the data. When data comes out and it shows this, then what do we do from there? That's what I think it is at this point.
Well, that, and I think if these countries start coming out and saying, announcing deals with other countries, I think the market might pay attention to that as well.
Okay.
Completely agree.
So, and then with CPI, the under the hood thing with CPI that I'm wanting to look at is if the services pricing changes a lot, because core goods, that's the kind of stuff that you would see a raise in price, an inflation rate go up or down in, because that's the kind of stuff that gets imported, exported. But services is internal, and that's actually 57% of the number reported for CPI. If that's a number that goes up, that's telling me that tariffs are starting to work into the system. People are starting to use less services and spend less money on services. That would be a little bit of a concern. That's what I'm going to be watching with CPI.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing that like it's hard to wrap your head around about, like, because it's kind of like where the Fed's at right now, where Jerome Powell's at. It's just like you're like they're talking about cutting rates now, like cut rates now. Like, look, there's no inflationary pressures from the tariffs, and it's so much more complicated behind that in terms of like what's going on behind the scenes. Like, there's an article over the weekend where this one guy was just like, I think Jerome Powell is going to step down, and like now it's starting to spread about people being like, oh, there's going to be a Jerome Powell resign. I'm like, dude, he's not stepping down. There's no way. Like, you're out of your mind.
No way he will step down. No way.
Nope. No. Absolutely not. He's not stepping down.
So if he stepped down, how would that influence anything? Like,
the market would crash.
If Jerome Powell stepped down?
Yeah, I read an article this morning that said the market would drop 3 to 4% in 24 hours.
Yeah, it would be really bad.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the main reason is because they know that Trump will guarantee put somebody in there who's going to go in and drop the fucking rate 300 bips in July. And that is the problem. That would send our economy into a tailspin if we dropped our interest rate 3% in one cut, which is what Trump wants, That might be a bit of an exaggeration, but 2%, he's saying it should be dropped 2%.
So I got a little bit of research into this after I saw this article, and I was talking about it because everyone was talking about this idea of Jerome Powell stepping down, but everyone knows he's not going to, because his main focus is to show the Fed is independent of political pressures and everything else, and to be independent from the political aspect of things, right? And so he's going to be making it his job to keep the Fed having credibility. You look back at the 1970s, I didn't know much. It was Reagan who was going for re-election in the 1970s, like 1972 or something like that. And what he did was he told whoever was in charge at the time to cut rates. He told him to cut rates so it would push the economy higher, and then he would win the re-election campaign. And he won it by a landslide. And then if you look at what happened with interest rates right after that, they push up to like 15, 16% until Paul Volcker comes in 1980, and he has to jack rates up to cut down inflation. So the idea behind it is that it's kind of almost like a spooky like feeling of like the same thing, where it's like they're trying to get Jerome Powell out to then put somebody else in place to then start having him cut rates. And short term, it's going to push the economy higher, but then long term, you're going to feel the impact. So it's very important into it.
Yeah, Carly and I lived through the 80s and 90s, and
I lived through Reagan. Yeah,
we remember what that was. We remember what those eras were like.
Yeah, it's so scary how it's just like people are just like, oh, like he wants him to resign, he wants to sit down. It's like, did you not read into what happened back in like that time period? The same thing happened where Reagan had who he wanted in Fed chair. He cut rates, make it look amazing for re-election, got reelected, and then the market just became just terrible for the next like 10 years after that, until they replaced the Fed with Paul Volcker, and then he jacked up rates to like 20% or some crap like that. And it was ridiculous.
Hey, Fridge, what's that saying? Don't forget history, lest it repeat itself, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Learn history so you don't repeat it. And clearly, we're not doing a good job of learning history right now.
Well, I just thought of another part to that no one ever talks about. Right? You got to be willing to learn it.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to learn it. That's the problem. People just want to. No, we don't. We don't want to look back. We just want to look forward. All we want to do is, and I know I'm guilty of this, like all I want to do is look forward and go, how can I maximize my future? Not let me study the past to see what happened. Like, back test the market like you back test the stock. Like, it's really not that difficult of a thought.
Yeah.
I just need the process.
And I think it's one of those things now where it's just like every data point that comes out that backs up Jerome Powell's stance of not cutting rates, like just fuels the fire and just keeps him being like, I'm literally not going to leave here until I literally have to, because it's everything that he's done so far. Like, looking at a lot of data points have backed up his thesis of that we can sit here and still wait because of all the data that comes out. So every single time, so like we talked about earlier, like Kelly was saying, you have CPI data this week, you have PPI data coming out this week, you have retail numbers this week, like all these important data points. If they keep backing up Jerome Powell's stance, he's not resigning. Like he's just walking around with like the biggest schlong in the room, pardon my words, because he's like, dude, I'm right here. I don't care what you guys are talking about. I know what I'm doing here, and this is why we're at where we're at. We haven't had a huge recessionary period yet because he's going in for that soft landing.
Yeah, I have so much respect for Jay Powell, and I don't know if that's shared, but I mean, because he does take a stance and he doesn't kowtow to anybody, he doesn't give a shit, and he's like so even keel that every time he talks, it was kind of like when Obama was president. Every time he talks, it was like a voice of comfort. It just made me feel a little bit better. And I always come out of these thinking, oh, our economy's not that bad. Everything's okay. Whether it is or not is a different question. But you are right, Fridge. That man is not going anywhere. They're going to have to drag him out kicking and screaming.
I agree.
That's what's going to keep the Fed as having the credibility that they've been building up for years, because they lost so much credibility during the 70s and 80s that they've now started to rebuild it back up. And now they're at a point where they have that credibility again. And Jerome Powell doesn't want to put that integrity there. His main focus is to keep the economy going for the U.S., and that's what his goal is for. And I think he's doing a phenomenal job so far.
Yeah, I agree. It's just going to be really interesting with the next one. If they're going to be able to do the same thing. I would not want to see Besson in that position at all. Like he would be the bottom.
Besant?
Besson's freaking wild, dude. Besson is so annoying.
Is that who we think is going? Treasury Secretary Besant?
That's what they were talking about.
There's rumors of him. There's rumors of Christopher Waller from the federal government.
That would be kind of who I would lean towards. Of all the people that have been floated, they fucking floated.
Yeah.
Do you know what would happen if they put Lutnick in? Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Lutnick. Oh, my. Don't even get me started on him.
Me neither. Golly.
Besson's an idiot, yeah. You ever listen to him talk, like, and things he comes out with and just says things? It's like, dude, do you even, like, I'm sure, let me not be wrong here. Like, he probably has such a bigger economic background than I do. He's a treasury secretary, and I'm just Fridge Financial sitting in my room on a Sunday evening doing a podcast. But at the same time, it's like some of the things that he says, though, like, you don't have to be an expert to understand. Like, dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
like, I can't follow it.
Fridge, if you ever watch him on a... Sorry, Charlie, go ahead.
I'm really going to say the same thing. I posted about this and posted a video. He has such a tale of when he's telling the truth and when he's fucking so full of shit. When he's just talking straight facts, the conversation is just flowing right along. It's at like a normal pace. When he starts lying, he starts bumbling his words, and he starts pausing. And the number one tale, he clears his throat, and the next words out of his mouth are complete bullshit. It's pretty interesting, and it's very telling of what he actually thinks about all of this tariff stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So go ahead. No. We can end it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean, I'm going through the chats and I hear everybody. You guys are having an amazing conversation. I'm gonna say it now. We probably won't be able to do this live right now. Going forward, because I guess some of the stuff are going in and out, and then I'm still adjusting my mic, so we probably just have to start doing this the same thing we're doing on the Sundays, and then we'll just post it. So, to the people in the chat, if you're watching, I apologize for the inconsistencies in the broadcast, but the quality is going to get fixed over time, and we're gonna continue to bring you guys better content in the future. So, my apologies. But you guys, my team, y'all been doing amazing with all of this stuff, and we've been having a crazy conversation about Powell and Trump and everything. I wanted to go ahead and touch bases on two things. Um, it's a very hot topic in the market right now. What do you guys think about CLBR?
I think it's
So
Trump fact.
yeah, I mean, look, it is Trump. It is Trump backed. There's no disputing that. It could pump to the moon. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it could just run. You look at something like Newsmax, and that ran incredible. So yeah, it's possible. It's also possible that it could IPO and crash. Everybody could start taking their profits immediately. Um,
So
I don't
I
know.
know,
It's just it's weird to me. Go ahead.
I know, the GrabAGun. Like, what does this company even do? Is what I don't even know.
It's
So
the
what?
Amazon of guns, right? Where other people can get on there and sell their guns at like one local website, right? Am I understanding it correctly? Gigi.
Maybe I'm not understanding it correctly. I thought it was. I'm not investing in it, so I haven't done a lot of like looking into it. But I thought it was. I thought GrabAGun was a company that makes it easier to put together your custom weapon right online. So like if you want to like I'm not like a gun owner, but like
I'm not an owner, but I'm not an enthusiast.
so my understanding is that guns are not just like, hello, I'd like to have one gun, please. Like you know what I mean. It's like, hi, I'd like an Uzi. No, 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 no. Let's talk about what modifications you want. And so what they do is they use AI to make your specific modification, your specific firearm to
Really?
exactly as you want it. They make it easier and faster. That's my understanding. I could be wrong. That's my understanding.
Does anybody else know?
I have no idea. It's not a good sign if we're confused about it, though. That's for sure.
That's goddamn right.
I was gonna say I'm not real sure what it is. I mean, what I do know about SPACs, once the ticker switch, it normally goes downhill from there.
Uh,
So, um, I'm not real sure. So, my
I don't
thing,
think anybody really is.
I was gonna say, but my thing is, if you're gonna get in it, make sure that the levels are solid, or you know why you're getting in and why you're getting out, and go from there.
I
Very
agree
true.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a degen gambler sometimes. I will be.
See, and see, there you go. Like also, if you know you're going to do it as a lotto, know that you're
Yeah,
doing it as a lotto.
Right.
exactly. And limit the percentage of your port to do it. Come on, do not full port something like this. And no offense to the people who are doing that. God bless them. It's not how I roll. But just you know, be careful.
Mm,
And it's
The
a hype
ones
stock too.
who get money to full port it. Let's just say that.
yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. Um, but if you are in CLBR, what you definitely want to watch for, we're coming off of some support right here at the $16 level. And like I said, this is just if particular levels hold up. I have a current bottom right now above 1485, and as you can see, it's held up pretty well around this level right here. So as long as the prices don't fall back below here to shift the structure, and I think anywhere between 1665 and 1570 this week should be a pretty nice bounce. This gap up right here is a pretty solid indicator that buyers have been stepping in. And if we push back to the upside, I'll watch for a breakout above 1845. That'd be my kind of catalyst or indicator that I think we'll push up to this 19 to $20 range. Now, as you can see, I gotta get the fuck out. Get out of right here because this is just an area that I think that it's gonna be a pivotal either shift back to the downside or it could break out to run a little bit higher. I don't have any real higher price targets yet, but the next point of resistance is around 24.75. So it's possible
What
to
is that level of get the fuck out? I can't see it.
which one?
18 to the get the fuck out
Oh,
level.
the 1975. 1975 up to
1975. What?
$20.90.
Okay.
That window is my hard rejection level. And then above 1845 is that's my trigger that it might start rocket into the upside. So
That's
just watch.
interesting because it hit 1840 last week and then dumped.
hmm So we'll just have to see how that plays out. Like I said, I think the actual structure would shift if it breaks that floor and breaks below 1485. I think that's when we'll see another gap get triggered, and it could fall a little bit more before getting the dip out. So that's just something to watch out for if you are trading CLBR. Um, did we talk about any of the Fridge? Did you talk about any of the past economic stuff that we had last week?
Not yet, but I mean, it was pretty okay overall. We had some good jobs data come in last week, I'm pretty sure, which I think is kind of what pushed markets a little bit higher towards the end of the week. The initial jobless claims came in a little bit lower, continuing came in a little bit lower. Atlanta Fed is looking at 2.6 GDP for quarter two predicted as of Wednesday, but there wasn't really that much data compared to this week. This week's got like a lot more of those heavy hitting data points where you're looking at CPI data, PPI, retail sales, more jobs data.
Can you
The
split?
interesting thing to look at is that you're looking at CPI data. They're already projecting it to be higher than last month, CPI and PPI, both in the core and overall, year over year, month over month. So that is interesting that they're already pricing that in. So if we get some data that comes in hotter than expected, I expect the market's going to react negatively to that one because then it's going to bring back the fear of tariffs again, probably, and the impacts. But if it comes in lower, still might have a nice little week here. I feel like overall, I don't know about you guys, but that's kind of what my logic is right now.
Well, the interesting thing is it comes out on Tuesday, which is also when JP Morgan comes out. And I think JP Morgan's earnings could be a catalyst for a bump up. So it's going to be a really, really interesting and probably pivotal day for which direction and the stance that smart money's going to take.
Yeah, definitely. I was looking at it this weekend, and so I was reading up again. I wrote that research like summary about the overnight drift trading strategy, and like one of the major things they talk about is don't trade economic data reports coming out the next morning. Don't try to trade major earnings. I looked at the whole calendar, and I was like, well, CPI is Tuesday, PPI is Wednesday, retail's
Yeah.
Thursday. And I was like, so what am I gonna trade this crap? And then I was like, oh, oh, I could do Thursday or Friday. Nope, because what's Thursday after hours? Netflix earnings, big
Yep.
catalyst for the S&P. I
Yep.
was like, dude, all right, so I'm not gonna be trading that strategy this week because I got nothing going for me. But as people say, sometimes not taking a trade is the best trade. But like it's a heavy hitting week that we got, and we're gonna have some. And again, now we're getting into earnings seasons full swing. I know we got some bigger one. I think Tesla's either next week or the following week coming up. Amazon's coming up. I know, like, there's some more heavy hitting, earnings coming that's going to impact this market a lot. So it's just the data is going to be interesting to watch and see how earnings are going to come out with. But it's earnings for quarter two or quarter one. You guys know? Is it earnings? Is quarter two earnings? Quarter two. It will be curious to see, like, kind of what you're talking about, Carly. It'll be interesting to see how these big companies start talking about if there's any impacts from tariffs now, because now they're looking at quarter two earnings, they would have had some of these companies would have had some sort of impact from tariffs. I'd be curious to see what they talk about in their guidance going forward from
That's
that.
what I'm going to be looking for, because last quarter I saw a stat on it. I thought I wrote it down, but there was a very small percentage of companies that actually made that stated forward guidance. Most either said we can't give it because we don't know what's going to happen with tariffs, or some of them were pretty smart and came out with if this happens it'll be this, or if this happens it'll be this. So that's what I'm going to be looking for with earnings, is if they now feel certain enough to give guidance, because that means they're doing the same thing as the market and they're not listening to Trump and paying attention to the back and forth, and they're just going to go on with business as usual.
Yeah, well, it's just like, you talk about like the bank earnings, right? Like the bank earnings can give us an indication as to where the money is in their institutions and their accounts, stuff like that. Let you guys know where the money is, if it's flowing in or flowing out. I saw a chart from Yahoo Finance over the weekend, and it talked about how it was like Q2, the biggest amount of money that flowed into assets in Q2 was actually bonds, believe it or not. Compared to
I totally believe it. That bonds market has been so volatile.
Yeah, so they're going to the safe havens more. So I think people are now starting to be like, okay, well, this market rally has been great. We've recovered. It's awesome, but can it be sustained? And, some companies, the tariffs don't impact them really at all. They could probably talk about it. Like, for example, I bet Netflix can give you guys guidance for the coming year, because Netflix, I don't know how much they're really going to be impacted from tariffs. Not a lot. They're digital market. It's digital media and stuff, right? So you got to be listening more to like those manufacturing companies and those retail ones more in their earnings. I feel like more, because they're the ones who are going to be hit more compared to like those digital ones.
One thing I'll be interested to see with Netflix is if it comes back up about tariff on foreign-made productions.
Yes.
That will be very interesting to see if it comes back up.
That is a great point. I forgot they brought that up, and everyone was like, why? And it was like, so what? Like, who cares? I don't even know. I would be curious to know, if I went back and looked at it, when that news came out and how Netflix stock responded like the next day afterwards. I would be curious to know if it really had that much of an impact or not. To bring up is they talk about those tariffs on foreign-made films and all that kind of stuff. So very, very interesting for sure.
If I remember correctly, and I don't remember the percentage, but if I remember correctly, I believe it was a red day for Netflix.
That's interesting.
Let me take a look. I'll do some research for you while we're doing this. I'll figure that out.
Thank you, Fridge, because it will be extremely interesting to see if that was a red day or a flat day, or if people were just like, we don't care, it's Netflix.
So Reuters pushed it out on May 5th. Trump orders 100% tariff on foreign-made films. So May 5th is when it came out. So I would love to know what the return was on Netflix. That on May 5th, like around that.
With Netflix, my kind of theory on Netflix has become, and we talked about this in the Day Trade Live last week, how in recession environment, utilities and liquor are the two recession-proof sectors. For me, my personal life, I consider Netflix a utility. It's something I have to have every month, and it's one of those things like my power bill. I would never give up. I would do whatever I had to. And I kind of think a lot of people may think like that, when you don't have cable and stuff. Netflix may be your go-to. That I think it could be an inflation-proof company. I think it could be a recession-proof company. So I will be interested to see their numbers.
So I was thinking of Netflix as a recession stock, actually. And the reason is not only what Carly said, but kids, right? People have kids, and they have to have the stuff that their kid want to watch. Otherwise, it is an enormous headache, right? Sorry about that. Sorry, Johnny. We can't afford Netflix anymore, so you can't watch your favorite shows. Oh my God, the world is going to end, and it's going to be World War III in that house. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot easier to pay the $17 a month or whatever it is.
Yeah, keep your kids happy.
Look, they say happy wife, happy life. Happy kids, happy life.
So
And
there
happy
was.
wife.
So looking back from May, this says May 8th until May 12th, so the weekend, it was down about almost 6%.
Yep.
But that's May 8th, and the article came out May 5th. So maybe the market had time to digest it maybe after that, and then it kind of pulled it back down a little bit more because it was down about 6% after that.
That also
So
may have been on a wait. Let's see here. Let me look at the calendar. If that came out on a weekend, as they used to love to do.
oh yeah.
You know, let's see here. Oh no, May 8th was the Thursday.
Yeah. So it might have just been, it maybe just took a couple of days for people to read into this. Like, what does it actually mean? Because usually what happens sometimes is that it takes time for people to digest the news to really read through it and be like, oh, okay, this is actually good or this is actually bad or not.
To
So
really
maybe that
think.
could have been what it was.
Yeah, I'm looking at Netflix.
But yeah, so some good earnings coming up. Go ahead, Rosie.
No, I was gonna say I'm looking at the Netflix chart right now, and I mean it's been in a clear downtrend since the beginning of July. So we've seen since July the 2nd, we've seen 5 red days and only 2 green days.
Don't you think that have to be good for their earnings then?
I would think it probably will. I actually
It
got
could have been
into
on
some
a few.
Netflix prior to last earnings, and it's done fairly well. If I go and I look at my average, I would have to double check. I think it was like maybe $900. Let me see.
Yeah.
This was the earnings. So I think I got into Netflix. I bought some partial shares around this $900 area, and I'm still holding.
Dang, that's a nice profit.
Yeah, I know they had
website,
they had really good earnings though on that announcement. I think they had like the record breaking subscriber numbers or something like that, and like they had good guidance for it too.
And didn't they jump up like 10% or something, which is a huge number for that stock?
Netflix
Yeah.
is always moving
Yeah.
crazy.
It
Oh yeah.
usually moves pretty well, but because they usually do pretty well. But I was going to say there are LETFs for Netflix. There's NFL U, which is the like 2 times long, and NFL X, I think, is directions like their bull Netflix for those who can't afford the Netflix stock.
I was finna
It's a
ask
really easy way and a
you
safe
a
way to
football
get
fan?
into in case it does. What?
I was finna ask you sound like you're a football fan over there.
I am a football fan, but I am a real football fan, like what you Americans call soccer. I am.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm one of those weird ones. But I watch NFL. But yeah, NFL up,
Don't
NFL
sound
at.
so happy about it, Carly.
I know. I'm a sports fanatic, period,
I'm
and
ready.
a sports gambler.
I'm ready to get back
I
on the
look forward to
parlays
it.
with you, fish.
That's what I'm just about to say, man. I'm just about to say it. I look forward to fall and winter coming, man. We can get that sports betting channel back up and running in the kingdom.
Man,
Yes, we can.
that was how me and you first end up, really talking. Because I was posting the NFL parlays.
Yeah, no, yeah, and a lot of your college parlays too.
Oh yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of your college parlays and your NFL parlays. And then I was like, okay, you like doing that? I'll start posting my picks too. And you were like, oh, okay, let's talk. Yeah, man.
Facts.
Yeah, I remember reading royalties. I remember seeing them and it'd be like 10 late parlays. I'm like, dude, I had to scroll to like see how long this parlay was for someone. I was like, yo, one of these hits, dude, I'm gonna be so impressed because it'd be like so many legs. But they're actually pretty good. They were some pretty good calls. I remember reading them. I was like, dude,
Dude,
this guy knows.
he researches the league like he researches the market. It's crazy.
Yeah,
If you look
right?
at those parlays, you're like, damn, how did you get 9 out of 10? How did you get 13 out of 14? How did you hit a 15-leg parlay? I don't know.
Bro,
Like,
I love the football side of it. I can't do baseball, I can't do basketball, but you give me some good football parlays, bro. I'll cook them.
yeah,
Do
man.
you
I can.
prefer college or professional?
Huh?
What's that, Carly?
Do you prefer college or professional? College
I-
or professional?
I prefer NFL over college. I like professional. How about you, Royalty?
I'll do either one. I'll do either one. But
Yeah.
mostly, I mean, mostly NFL. But I'll bet on either one. So,
I'll
but
do the NFL too.
You like NFL, Peruga?
Yeah.
Heard of doing blackjack, honestly. That's what I would
What's
do.
that? What's that, Fred?
I prefer to do. I'll do blackjack instead of because you know what it was though when I did sports betting because I used to
exactly
do it a long time ago.
178.
Like I would be sitting there wishing for like some team to like be like the worst team ever and stuff like that, dude. Now it just ruined the game for me. So now I watch it for fun and I just play blackjack. When I lose, like against the dealer, I can just like cut out the dealer and call it a day. That's all I would do.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
I just get a bunch of free money in DraftKings, so I just use it every so often.
Dude.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Whoa! Go! Yes.
Watching
Sorry,
horse races.
I'm watching the Bitcoin chart.
I
And
was gonna say, what else is he watching? He's definitely. I wouldn't have to even know what he's looking at. I already know what new fish is looking at. I know he's looking at
Yeah, I know.
Bitcoin and nothing else. There's no way.
Right.
So yeah, I'm watching the Bitcoin chart, and as I was telling you guys earlier, it looked like they were setting up a slanted, inverted head and shoulders, and that's what I was hoping for. And then it looked like it was going to turn into a flag, but no, it did. It was an inverted, slanted head and shoulders, or slanted inverted head and shoulders, excuse me. And then it just popped. Two very large green candles. We went from 118,750 all the way up to like 119,250
So fish,
on two candles.
you telling me that BTOG is gonna pump in the market tomorrow morning?
Oh, good God, dude. Oh, good God. Bro, it better. That'd be amazing. That would be so sick.
BTOG.
That'd
I
be
think
so
that.
What's that?
I said, what is it?
I was going to say, I think royalty deserves a shout out on that because he shouted out last week 119 on Bitcoin. I'm not sure he thought it would be in a few days it would hit that, but he did call 119 last week, and I paid attention and I got in. So thank you, royalty, for that.
No problem. Hey, I got a
My
long
man
target at
is
130.
on with his abilities, man.
I got a long target at 130 right now.
Yeah.
So
What's long? How long is long?
if we keep pumping like we are
2
right
days.
now, definitely not 2 days, but I give it to at least the end of September. Yeah. So we'll see.
So that's
So
about the time that I think we're gonna hit the next leg.
What, like mid September?
I have nothing to back that up. It's my thought.
You said
Sorry, go ahead.
Now I was saying you giving that what, like August, September? I mean, what,
I think
September, October?
for that 130, yeah, that sounds about right. Because I mean, so I think 150 to 200 by end of year, and then I just saw some stupid little article on TradingView that said 140. I'm trying to find it right now, but I mean, whatever. I don't know what their like the time was, but I know it's going over 140. All I'm saying is if you're not in it and you want to be in it, look for pullbacks, buy it, hold it. Chances are you're going to be extremely happy in yours.
I just pulled up Bitcoin's chart, and it's at 119 right now. So I mean, depending on how it runs, if it holds this 119 support, we're gonna see at least 124, 124.5 by the end of the week, maybe, or I give it 2 weeks. Let's see.
So yeah. So right now, the Bitcoin bulls are liquidating the shorts. It was supposed to be up to 119.5 is what I had heard, and I saw 119.4, I think. Oh wait, no. It looks like the candles did wick up to 119.5. But yeah, that's what they're liquidating now. and preparing for the next leg up.
Yeah,
So yeah,
all
once
over the
once
weekend.
once we get this consolidation. Sorry, go ahead, Roll.
No, you can finish. My bad.
No, you good, man. I was just gonna say, this consolidation here is good. It's healthy. We get the shorts out. We solidify this base, and then we can move up.
Yeah. I was saying if we held 116.8 over the weekend pretty well. Um, so we can hold this 119 zone and defend that and build some support like we just did. I think that we could probably see, like I said, 125 or 124.7, depending on how fast they want to push it.
Love it, love it, love it.
I wish
Of course,
I
Okay,
could
Mike.
guys.
get into some more MSTR shit.
That's what I was just about to say. Of course, Michael Saylor's out buying Bitcoin again, so we'll have to see what that looks like tomorrow.
I'm gonna dip, guys. I see Trina's in there too, so you guys can get to your stock pickers stuff that I'm not useful for.
Carly.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
Little
Hi,
bro,
Trina.
Man.
what's up? What's up?
Okay,
All right,
have a
What's
Carly.
good? What's good?
have a good trading week. Everybody
Thanks,
make
man.
tons of money, and we'll meet up next. I'm gonna do some more live trading this week too, New Fish, if you're cool with it.
Love it.
That's great.
Love it. It's great having you in there. I know Trina enjoys it too.
Okay, cool. It was
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
All right, bye guys. Bye, Kingdom.
See you
See
guys.
you later.
Oh no,
Thanks.
guys, I'm still here. I'm staying here. What am I talking about?
I was
Take
on.
care.
Bridge is not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
Free, little bro, what's up, man? You good?
What's going on, everybody? How you doing? I'm doing good. Doing good. It's just a long drive. I was out with the family doing some things, but we back home now. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody's weekend?
Good, man. It's good. Some little
Yep.
things here and there, but whatever, man. We're gonna be back at it here tomorrow.
Mhm.
That's what's up. How about that Bitcoin, man? 119K?
Bruh. Come on now. You already know what chart I'm watching. And of course I called you know me trying to, I'm always looking for the formation. So of course I saw what I thought might be a head and shoulders. Turned out to be an inverted head and shoulders. Turned out to be a slanted inverted head and shoulders, man. I'm always looking for that.
Oh yeah. That daily chart, man, insane. We thought we were gonna get a double top here, but that FEG was super strong, and they ended up just ripping it past that 109 level, straight to that 118 zone that we had marked out
Yeah.
last week.
Yes, sir.
Like I've been telling them, as far as Bitcoin, I think if we can hold up this 119 level, above 119, then we should see like at least 124 by the end of the week if it continues to push.
1000% agree. How do we feel about Tesla?
I looked at Tesla a little while ago, um, and I kind of like it. I like it going into it. We got a bit of a little symmetrical triangle going on right now on the bigger time
Yeah,
frame. So it's gonna be interesting. I think they might suppress the prices going into ER, which is on the 23rd. Um, we're looking at a bounce, possibly a retest of 326, and if it breaks structure, we probably see the structure actually break below 288.63. So,
that is definitely true.
and that'll just set up for either a double bottom around 273.64. It actually would be. We got a lot of support between 294 and 273. It's a lot of support. So that'll be the third time it'll be retesting this level since April. This will be the third retest
That's actually
if it breaks
wonderful.
down. And if that gets bought back up, I think I'll be bullish going into the next earnings. I think that'll be the final like buy and hold um, to it actually breaks out and start pushing that $500 level.
Yeah,
Mm.
100%. The end of year target.
Yep. So
I think I
hold.
think I think dude needs to stay. I think dude needs to stay out of politics. That's all ever. Like he Like he played ball, and then he played way too much ball, and now it's just like as much as it raised the stock price up like post election, like it just came crashing right back down. Like he needs to stay out of politics as much as possible. I think at this point, for the good of the company, that's why I think this stock is all over the place because they're tired of him. Now he's talking about having his own political party, and I was like, dude, can you just make more Teslas? Like, what are we doing here? And he's just doing whatever he wants, and I think that's why people are not reacting well because they want him focusing on Tesla and on growing the company and growing it from a investment perspective, not from like a technical and charting perspective. This dude needs to stay out of politics and just focus on growing his companies, and that's where you get the best return for Tesla long term.
Well, so my view on it my view on it is pretty simple, right? We already know that he pissed off the Democrats. Like that's real common knowledge, right? But now it's my belief that what he's done is he's gone and pissed off the MAGA Republicans as well, right?
Yep.
And so like that's like we know that the hardcore always Trump base is 30% of the Republican or optional vote, right? So that is a lot of people to add to the Democrats that you've already pissed off, right? Now you've got more than half the country that does not want to buy your product. And that is a real issue for an investor.
Right. Correct. That's why I'm saying like he needs to win back like the people who he just lost the faith in because of his beliefs coming out and everything else. Like he needs to get it back now, and he's got to basically rebuild it because again, now he's like they got rid of the tax. They're trying to get rid of the tax credits for EV vehicles and that kind of stuff like that, and that's a huge impact on Tesla overall. And everyone was getting excited that he was going to be on the good side of the presidential party and stuff like that. And now he's on the outside looking in, like crying. Now he's like just like, what do I do now?
So he's no longer a part of
right.
He's no longer a part of any of that. So Elon's he's not.
No, he's out of Doge. He's trying to do his own political party now or whatever.
So there was a limit because Elon was not an elected official. So there was a limit on how long he could serve in the federal government in that Doge role that was appointed by the president. He fulfilled that day limit to the maximum, and then so we know he got out of the White House or out of the government. Then he, had that feud with Trump publicly on social media, and then he said that he didn't like the big beautiful bill, and if they passed it, he said that he was going to open his own political party. And I forgot the name of it. It's like the America Party or something.
The America Party, yeah.
And so they passed the big beautiful bill, and Elon is supposedly keeping good on his word and he's going to open up a new political party aimed at the right wing. So that really pisses off the investors. Republicans in power. You know what I mean? The rainmakers.
Makes the stock much more unpredictable with all that at its hand.
Yeah,
correct.
I feel like with Elon, it's been pretty unpredictable. Period.
What'd you say, bro?
Well, I mean,
like we have this projection. Right? The company handle. I just wanted to throw in like we have this projection TA wise. We have a company handle on the daily chart, possible symmetrical triangle. The chart is setting up for a bullish run. Going into that possible earnings that we have. You said July 23rd is the earnings.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think it's next week. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if it's like that, then I wouldn't be surprised if the earnings come out and then, some way, somehow they try to invalidate that formation. Like you mentioned, those levels at 290, 280 level, I definitely feel like we might have to revisit that sometime soon just to restructure the whole entire thesis on Tesla. If that's what Elon's really doing right now, a lot of, maybe the numbers would matter, but the numbers aren't even that strong either, if we're being honest, right? A lot of other countries are picking up cheaper alternatives to Tesla, right? We were talking about another EV company in stream not too long ago. I don't know if you remember Fish with Etai Jackson as well.
What's that?
Other EV company this other EV company that's much more cheaper than Tesla. Other companies are picking it up, and it's much more
Oh,
widely known.
BYD, Boy
Yes.
Young David. It's
Yes.
it's really popular over in Asia, I believe.
Yep. They have some
Exactly.
nice cars.
What's that?
They have some really nice cars. I've seen like videos on Instagram, stuff like that. I'm like, dude, like they have like so many better things, and they tell us the price point, and I'm like, man, I want to buy one of these. I could probably buy one of these more than I could buy like a Cybertruck or something like that. And it has like so much better features. Like they come out with some really really nice EV vehicles over there. BYD, I believe they're over in China. Is like they're like where they like are based.
That's
I
right.
believe.
Mhm.
That is correct. There's an IPO that's coming out tomorrow. HWEP as in Paul. Harold Walter Edward Paul. It is it's an electric it's an EV company play, and they do commercial vehicles as well.
Mhm.
I'm kind of interested in that. I think I might try to just scoop in on that if I can. I think I saw that the shares are, so that's kind of right up my alley.
We also
Yeah.
got
I mean,
Rivian and Neo, like our other ones also that are alternate
mhm.
EV vehicle ones as well that you can play as well if you want to. Xpeng, yep, is
Lucid.
another one. Lucid, yep. Like I've seen Lucids around my area. I'm like, holy crap! I was like, I don't think I ever want to see one of these. I saw Lucid. I was like, oh, that looks pretty nice, but they're like super expensive, obviously. But
Yeah, I think they started
Yeah.
in like mid 70s, but
yeah,
they're really nice. They're like the luxury. They look really
Mhm.
great. Um, It's funny you mentioned Neo. I've got a note on my calendar. It's funny.
I own some Neo.
Nice.
Oh, nice, nice. Paringa's in it. Paringa's in it. I might want to. I should have gotten into it sooner.
Well, we'll see. I bought it a while ago. It hasn't been doing very well, but whatever.
Now it sounds
Boom.
to me like you get into things early, dude. You got to get a good price point.
I used to buy
But we'll see.
workhorse.
Parunga, you gotta do what I do. You gotta do what I do, right? So I don't know if you saw it, but
Oh man, I just
yeah.
bought 25 shares of Workhorse the other day.
I bought workhorse.
Buddy of
Oh,
ours.
workhorse. Yeah, I remember that.
But
So I thought of this idea. This is what I did. I added fish on this earlier, and I don't know if fish. I don't know if you saw this or not, but I was like, dude, I'm waiting for BTOG to come down to my limit price, and I was like, it's not going down. So I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy up like some amount of it, and what's usually gonna happen when you buy it up, it usually crashes right after that. Sure enough,
Right.
I bought it up right at the close, and it came down like 13%. And I was like, there we go. I'm getting a little bit lower buy price now.
There you go.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna try that. I'll do a starter position, and save my real buy for after they crash it after my starter position.
It's the way to do it, man. I figured out how to beat the market maker. You buy a little bit, then it's gonna crash because that's usually what always happens. Then you buy up on the dip and you're gold. You get your actual buy price.
I love it.
Oh man, I just wanted to bring up one little thing. Have you guys looked at Boeing today? Did you guys look at Boeing at all?
Not yet.
No, what's going on?
You got a truck?
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, from the last time we talked about it, now we're like at two. Yeah, yeah. I have a nice little like update for last time we were talking about it. It was at what was it 210? The last time we talked about it on stream, it wasn't that last week. It was a week before,
I think so.
and it's insane how far we've gone. So I just want to see if we can like throw up some levels there to see where we're gonna go next from here.
You
They
got
got
Share
some
my chart real
articles.
quick.
While you're pulling that up, dude, they got some articles came out that said that about the Air India thing that their
Oh,
stuff was safe and stuff like that. So they're up like 2% or 1.6 in the after hours right now.
also was on. Okay, we're already starting.
Yeah.
We're already starting.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, good. I want to see where Nvidia is. I got an Nvidia put that I'm swinging over the weekend.
As for BA guys, we had a double top. I mean, not a double top, a double bottom formation here form on the weekly chart. This is the breakout that we were all waiting for on the last week when we had that dip down to 197. I was telling everybody that if that 196, 195 little threshold held, we would have had that run towards that 230 target that we had around 233. We nearly hit it. And now that, Parunga mentioned that article that came out with India and all these things, I'm assuming we're going to start heading towards that level starting tomorrow. Definitely keep your eyes out on this gap that we have here, guys, at around 233 to 242. That's gonna start to be like the magnet that the price action and the buyers are gonna start bringing the price towards. So once we hit that area, possible rejection could happen, but that gap needs to be filled. It'll definitely restructure the market in a more healthy way. And on the higher time frames, you talk about that monthly chart, we're finally starting to hit our rejection zone. So this is a area of liquidity that sellers always jump into. So once we eventually hit that 253 zone, that's going to be ultimately the level where you would want to sell or at least look towards shorting the stock. But if we end up getting a breakout here, you're going to start to see BA starting to head out towards these 270 plus, 280 plus levels. So for now, my 268 target, just to be more conservative, I'm gonna drop it down to around 256. It's a nice little level because there's a lot of liquidity around there. So 256 seems like a good zone. Watch around 233 to 242 coming into this week. If it doesn't happen this week, it'll definitely happen next week. Any pullback would be around 211, 210. And then from there, I suggest we still have some continuation to the upside. Loyalty trades, man. What do you think about this chart? I've been keeping an eye on it for about like 3 weeks now. It's so beautiful seeing it move.
That's a
I've missed it though. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every single time I've seen it move, I like moves too fast for me.
that's a nice chart.
Right, right. I know you like that, man. He's like, oh
Hey,
shit, that should look crazy. That should fire.
I love it.
There's
That's
a lot of
nice.
opportunities in my opinion here. Well, at least for now.
Um, all right. So if you look at my chart that I got thrown up right now on BA, I had this little highlighted section here between 207 and 227. It's about a $20 move. We're moving beyond that level right now. So you see back here, we had a nice level of which was supposed to be support, held up previously until we finally broke that, and then it traded back underneath. So now we're getting back into the levels of making this resistance back into support for the next move up. We got this gap up here.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can see where the price is being drawn to, which is the top right here around 245. So I think that the prices
Yes.
will stretch out to that level and retest at 245.75, and then we're gonna have to see some gap up activity. We need to see something that's gonna show us that buyers are stepping in above here, or even if it trades up here, if no new buyers step in, it'll eventually exhaust itself and come back down and try to reclaim um, some support back around this 207 or 227 level. This is just the first retest, so even if it goes to the upside,
Mm-hmm.
I think some retests to come in back around this level just to see if this is a true support zone for
Exactly. Because we only had one pullback on that resistance zone,
it.
on that 196.15 zone when we had that neckline break. And we
Right.
came back down, tested it, made some support, continued. Now we kind of need to continue the step ladder effect.
I agree because even if we look at it like right here, that old area that we had to trade in order to get to where it's at now. Um, this still hasn't been retested quite yet as a actual level of support. It kind of got beyond
Hmm.
this trend and then it traded up and it retested once before it decided to bounce back up again. So I wouldn't mind seeing the same thing happen here. We get up here around this 250 level and then we come back down back into the mid 220s to see if this is what's going to really serve as support in order to push us back to the upside. I wish Carly was still here. She had a good mention, and I think Fred got in on it too. But like Bowen really doesn't have any competition.
No, let's
Yeah,
be
fair
real.
bus.
Like, come on, it's a no-brainer. I don't know how people could even hate on the stock, bro. Especially at these lows, I feel like it's gonna go back to those 300 plus highs eventually. Not saying it's
That's
gonna do it now, but I see it.
with Boeing. There's something else to think about, right? It's too big to fail, and it's a national security risk if it fails. If Boeing
Sure.
fails, right? If Boeing fails, we don't have a domestic large aircraft maker, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, sure, there's some McDonnell Douglas that are commercial, like yes, we can do it, but Boeing is the king. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a national security risk if they fail. So that's why Boeing will never fail. It's like think about if there was one national bank, it can't fail, right? You can't let it
Exactly.
fail. My 2 cents.
100% true. And like not too long ago, we were just talking about all these deals that Donald Trump is doing. Donald Trump is including Boeing and most of these deals that he's doing with these countries. It's not the little ones, especially the big ones, the one that really bring money to the table. He made sure Boeing gets a piece of the cake. So as long as Bowen's getting a piece of the cake and a continuation of these trade deals can coming back good, I still think there's a lot of benefits for the company.
Pretty dope. I agree.
I agree with you 100%.
Well, we jumped in a little late, but I only want to keep everybody here for about an hour because so everybody can be able to have time to finish their evening activities. One thing I do want to address today and the last episode, we've been having some streaming issues, quality, and the upload, well, the actual live content. So next Sunday and then going forth until I actually get everything pinpointed, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little frustrated too. We're just gonna do the Kingdom podcast, the roundtable talks. We're just gonna do it as an actual recording, and then we'll upload the actual episode once everything's done. So that way we don't have to worry about the lag, the audio cutting in and out,
Already,
and the video
100%.
dropping until we get everything worked out 100%. So, like I said, apologies on that. We're still gonna be able to bring you guys good content on a week to week basis. We're just not gonna do it actually streaming now until we get the kinks worked out. So we apologize for that, but I do want to appreciate everybody for tapping in with us this Sunday, bearing with us through the mishaps and stuff like that. But to my awesome team, Fridge, trying to make it, Parunga, New Fish,
Thank you so much.
Carly, BME, the Fix Queen, David Knight, everybody that supported the whole team. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody for tapping in with us. Any remarks for anything that could help anybody get through this up and coming week? Y'all want to pass down some gems, some wisdom?
I'm just going to remind everybody of a couple of things that are just so simple that we know on Sundays and Saturdays, and sometimes we forget during the regular session. Guys, risk management. Please, please, please protect your ports. Number 2, protect your profits, right? Make sure you secure the bags. Don't leave those profits sitting in your account unrealized for too long. We are at all-time highs. It could go higher. It could go lower. We just don't know. There's uncertainty right now. And don't FOMO, right? If you see stuff going up, ask yourself, why is it going up? Is it going up for a good fundamental reason, or is it going up because retail is pushing it up and institutions are letting retail push it up so that they can use retail as exit liquidity? Just a couple of things to think about.
Appreciate that, Fish. Anybody else got anything they want to drop?
I'm gonna piggyback off
1000%.
that. Just watch data and be cautious, see how the market's going to react to it. Read into the data reports. The more you understand the data that comes out, the more you can get ahead of the game. So that way, if you see inflation starting to have a little tick up somewhere, start getting ahead of the game. Maybe start to go more cash than anything else. Read through things, read the articles every single day. You read something new in the markets with economics or the stocks or anything like that. The more knowledge you have, the better off you're going to be in a position otherwise. And like I think I say this like every single weekend, Royalty, and everybody else is just be a reaction trader. Don't try to predict. Be a reaction trader. The more you react to the market, is the more profitable you're going to have instead of trying to predict what the market's going to do. If you're buying calls or options or put options to predict that inflation data comes in this certain way, you have no idea how it could be the best data possible, and the market can still pull it the opposite way of where you want to go. So be the reaction trader, not the prediction trader, in my opinion.
I like it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
1000%. Just be careful, be cautious. Yeah, no, 100%. Be cautious. Don't. I feel like people should. A lot of people in this environment get too biased. Like me personally, I remember when we were in our bull run when Biden was in office, I was like, shit, bro, this market's never gonna drop. We're gonna go forever, bro. We're going to 700 spot. Fuck that, 1,000 spot today. You know what I mean? That was me, bro. I ain't give a fuck. I was full porting everything. We were lit. Now the problem here is this is a whole different type of environment. I've lost enough money to know that this isn't the case now, right? So what I'm looking for is what's being given to me, right? So we see that the market is starting to get a little bit weak. You look at the higher time frames, the market definitely is in need of a healthy pullback, and we're having a lot of tariff talks. So a lot of people are making a lot of profits and don't know exactly when to pull out of the market. Always have your basically just be aware of where the price is going on these stocks that you bought and these calls that you probably got leaps on, because eventually things are gonna flip, and when they flip, it's gonna catch everybody off guard. So just stay on the market, stay vigilant, and stay resilient, because that's what the market is really calling for in this environment.
Um, I've got one last thing here. I got one last thing here that I just got. Somebody just texted me. So CLBR is becoming PEW this week, as we were talking about earlier. I believe it's on the 16th, and whatever day it is, I believe it's the 16th. That day, Donald Trump Jr. will be ringing the bell on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. So that's going to make things bullish. I just got that word right now.
Exclusive info.
CLBR time, baby. QQ.
Right. All right.
Just like seconds ago.
If I have anything to send everybody into the market with this week, it's kind of to capitalize on what both Fridge, Fish, and everybody's saying right now. Don't try to predict too far into the future. Make sure that you get the right indications, not the indicator, but the right indications that allows you to trade in the direction that's happening. Um, Lately, it's just been a lot of over analyzing and thinking that the market is going to actually go one way, or expecting that the market owes it to you to go one way, instead of just taking what the market's giving you and following the trend. I told somebody, take calls until the calls don't work no more, and
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly what we've been seeing, what we've been having. So, if you're looking for a dope
Right.
family to trade with, all of us that you see on the screen right now, we're part of the kingdom. If you're on After Hours, you can tap into the bio of me trying to make it, or Parunga, and be able to hop into the family and have so many different
Mm-hmm.
styles of trading, and ways of make money. So tap in with that. Reach out to us if you need to. We're looking to help. It don't matter what how long you've been in the market. We got somebody here that'll be able to help you get your feet wet and direct you in the path that you need to take in order to at least build a foundation in the market. So the kingdom is the place where you want to be. So thank you for giving us a little time of your Sundays. And like I said, we're not going to be streaming this until we get the connectivity issues fixed and the microphone adjusted and everything. But we're still gonna drop the content for you every Sunday night, just as an upload. So we appreciate y'all. We're gonna catch y'all in the market tomorrow, and make money. Don't let it make you.
1000%.